It's time to wrap up the longest running plot thread in series history. Set your expectations low for the return of Outlaw. In the first game, it was driven by Carl Roberts. He wished for a world without twisted metal, so Calypso launched him into space for some reason. A year later, his sister Jamie won the contest and wished to see her brother, so she suffered the same fate. But she was expecting it and had preemptively turned her car into a spaceship, so she was able to save her brother, who didn't die in the vacuum of space, he just got a bunch younger. Then I guess it took him 3 years to get back to Earth and enter the contest again to get their ultimate revenge. Jamie's going to wish to end the Twisted Metal competition, but Carl's been down that road before, and if he sees Calypso again, he's just gonna kill him, unbeknownst to Jamie. So some kind of drama is going to unfold, but first we have to complete the Tokyo streets. Yep, Twisted Metal Head-On ends in Tokyo. I imagine the devs just remembered that Twisted Metal 2 ended in Hong Kong, and this was just the next city in Asia that they could think of, which is not a great reason to set the final level here, but the level turned out pretty good anyway. They haven't attempted much in the way of urban environments in this game, and they're doing more than just checking a box here. They went above and beyond. For how large this place is, though, we certainly had a very hectic beginning with everyone spawning right on top of me. Already had to go for the full health refill. And I've had to use my special a whole bunch, which is an Outlaw classic, the Taser. It's a bolt of lightning that connects your vehicle to the nearest enemy, does continuous damage. By default, it can do as much as 17 damage if you stay within range of an enemy the entire duration, but we just got the special weapon upgrade. Now we can mash the fire button for additional damage up to 29 points, nearly double the base damage. And we can do even more supplemental damage by shooting them with machine guns and ramming them while it's active, since we have to stay close to them anyway. But we don't have the upgrade anymore. Made decent use of it while we had it, but you could seriously do like half an enemy's health in a single use of the special. If you play your cards right, it's pretty ridiculous. You probably noticed that when I did have the upgrade, using it caused the lightning bolt to flash red. That's a minor graphical change from the PSP version, where every time you hit the fire button, the lightning just flashed brighter for what amounted to a strobe effect on your screen. It was really hard to look at, and I will not be showing that off for obvious reasons. So that's the Taser. We've seen Outlaw use it in every game in the series except for Black, where it was used by Crazy 8 because Crazy 8 was supposed to be Outlaw, but they changed their mind and then reskinned it to a new vehicle. Fun fact. But this is what I want to show off right now. That orbital explosion around Outlaw was a new energy attack that only appears in Head-On. It's called Flak, and if you manage to catch an enemy with it, it does 10 points of damage. I found it to be the most practical way to deal damage while otherwise unarmed. Could always drop mines, but that never works for me, so I'd rather try to hit it with the Flak. Also, it can destroy incoming missiles, but only when they are very close to your vehicle, so the timing on that is basically impossible. Now, most of the time we've been here in the Tokyo streets, we've been wandering around on the titular streets, which is this huge city grid with a big old hill in the middle, and the level is kind of symmetrical on two axes, centered on that hill. So we're left with like 4 near identical quadrants that make up the level, and the only way to really get your bearings is these landmarks that are on either side of the hill. One side has a big tower, the minigame teleporter is over near there, and on the opposite side is a forked bridge with a regular teleporter nearby that takes us up to this elevated walkway thing. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, honestly, but it does give you a cool view of the level, and there's a bunch of useful items up there. And all the way down here at the lowest area that we can get to, the buildings have all sorts of intricacies to their designs. little alleyways and whatnot. Helps make each area somewhat distinct, but I don't see a lot of reason in sticking around down here. Back when all the enemies were still alive, the battle did spill into that area once or twice, but at this point I'm only going there to show it off. And having done that, I'm going to show off the bridge next, which is weirdly destroyed on the entrance, and the traffic just doesn't care. They keep driving over a crumbling bridge to get to this tunnel, which loops around to the bridge that is adjacent to the one they came in on. It goes nowhere. They just feel compelled to drive in this extremely dangerous setting for no reason. I can't say I get it from an in-universe or from a game design perspective, but there's nothing left to do over there right now. So we return to this tower, which has a remote bomb pickup right at its base. Back in Monaco, that was our only hint that there was a destructible in that area, and such is the case here as well. So, drop that bomb right near where I picked it up, and get ready to watch what fireworks there are to be had. Certainly can't say this is one of the game's best destructibles, but it's something. We haven't had anything for a while. So there goes the top of the tower, and it lands over here, back near the bridge, so now we can access this dojo. So that makes it worthwhile, having this new area to access, and a pretty cool area at that. But while I'm talking about things that have been lacking here in the late game, I should mention that environmental attacks stopped being a thing back in Monaco. No level from that point on has its own environmental attack. It's just kinda odd because every level before that had one. Hey, there's a remote bomb pickup up here. Maybe we should try and blow up the top of the dojo? Nah, it doesn't actually do anything. Not that I really expected otherwise. But we've pretty much seen all there is to see of the dojo. Now, if there had been an environmental attack for this level, I strongly suspect it would have been in this area, because such was the case in the Hong Kong level for Twisted Metal 2. And like the Hong Kong level for Twisted Metal 2, there is also a subway area in this level, but it is not accessible in the main level. It's only part of the minigame, and you can unlock it as a playable level if you complete the minigame. So we'll be seeing that later, and I'm kind of glad we don't have to see it now, because there is more than enough of this level as there is. I am eager to wrap it up by killing these last two enemies. Doesn't look like they're gonna make it easy or anything, but that's fine. In fact, it's a death warp. It sent us closer to the destroyed tower that I wanted to look at. And even though the bomb was at the base of the tower, it only destroyed the top. That's one of the reasons that I never even realized there was a destructible there. The base looks rock solid, but it's the part that you have to bomb to get it to blow up. There's also some train tracks over near the tower. You can't interact with them, nor do they do anything on their own. Perhaps they were related to the subway area, but we'll never know, I guess. Our trusty taser finished off Crimson Fury. I find it's especially useful for dealing with the last sliver of health on a very fast opponent. And our missiles finished off Axel. The end of these oversized levels always tends to drag a bit, but I still feel the overall design is very strong, and it didn't drag nearly as bad as the Hong Kong level did in Twisted Metal 2. It took me almost twice as long to complete that thing. We still haven't seen the last of Tokyo by a long shot, but we are done with it for now. It's time to see if Sergeant and Captain Roberts will settle their score with Calypso, or if he'll turn the tables on them once again.
Congratulations, officers.
Stand still, Calypso! I'm about to make my own wish come true.
No more killing!
Jamie, what are you doing? Let's end this. We can do this right here.
No! This isn't right! We've already won. We don't need to hurt anybody else. We can just use our wish to end this contest once and for all!
Are you crazy? You know that'll never work. We know exactly what'll happen when we make our wish. We'll be so excited that we'll forget a word, or we'll say something that has two meanings, or we'll... Jamie, get out of the way!
Thank you, dear.
Shut up, Calypso! Carl, we're police officers. It's our job to protect people, not to point a gun at them when there's a peaceful solution.
There's no need for violence.
Jamie, move! So help me, I'll go through you if I have to.
What? You'd kill your own sister?
I didn't mean...
You'd shoot your own sister?
No, I would...
You wanna kill me?
No, shh! I can't think!
What's happened to you?
Jamie, please, be quiet.
Really now, claim your
I don't even know you anymore! You can't live like this!
Shut up!
This isn't the way!
I wish you'd just shut up!
Granted.
What?
Just a little bit of communication would have gone a long way for the Robertses. But after the outcome of their wish, that's simply not an option anymore. I like to think they faded to black so quick at the end there, because after the protestations of Jamie were silenced, Carl simply picked his guns back up and murdered Calypso like he planned to do all along. That would leave Jamie with nothing to do but slowly and horrifically starve to death, but Carl once survived a year without food, maybe she can do the same. We'll simply never know, which is just one of many ways that ending dropped the ball. Next time, we move on to the obligatory rooftop climax.